And now, CCW News presents Holy Crap! This is actually happening! Fake It If You Can't Make It edition, July 27, 2022. I'm Chuck U. Farley. The big news this week, at least according to CNN, is that the Choco Taco has been discontinued. For those of you who never knew it existed and now want it more than anything, too bad. Klondike, the maker of this revered delicacy, admitted that the beloved ice cream taco is indeed another victim of the coronavirus. I swear, I'm not making this up. Rest in peace, my friend. The Ivy League nomination for NCAA Woman of the Year went to Columbia University fencer Sylvie Binder. Even though UPenn threw all its female athletes under the bus to send swimmer Leah Thomas as their candidate, the Ivy League did not nominate 6'1", 200-pound Leah Thomas as the Woman of the Year because he's a man. I wish I had to make this up. Representative Matt Gaetz is in tepid water this week after observing the fact that the pro-abortion activists surrounding the homes of Supreme Court justices tend to be ugly and most are obese. While this phenomenon is actually backed with scientific evidence, I swear I am not making this up. The left, of course, reared its ugly, obese head and tried to cancel him yet again by rebooting a fully debunked prostitution conspiracy that ended months ago with no evidence, victims, witnesses, or charges against him. The extortionist who started the rumor, Stephen Alford, has been prosecuted, however, but much like their diets and basic hygiene, leftists do not like to keep up on things. When asked Monday about what he would say to those who found the comments offensive, the congressman simply stated, "Be offended." Stalin's darling, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, led her useful idiot squad to block traffic in D.C. to protest that they temporarily cannot murder children anywhere and anytime they desire, even though she is still free to do so in both states where her homes are located. After Capitol Police repeatedly asked the demonstrators to get off the main street, and they refused, she got escorted from the scene and smiled for the cameras as she faked being in handcuffs. Her littermate, Ilhan Omar, missed her cue and fake arrested herself without the help of the nearby police who ignored her as she led herself away in invisible handcuffs. Cortez then jumped on social media to talk about the harrowing experiences on Cell Block D, where she's never been, and how she was tortured and starved and feared for her life every minute after getting her $50 public nuisance citation. After Senior State Department Foreign Service Officer Alan Ear tweeted, quote, "I prefer high gas prices. Equals less driving, less CO2. Many struggling and starving Americans pointed out that he isn't living up to his Twitter bio, which states, kindness. Always kindness." He later deleted the tweet. Meanwhile, climate czar John Kerry's private jet has emitted over 300 metric tons of carbon since Biden took office. If the people who want you to sit in the dark, eat bugs, and walk to work would only practice what they preach, they could save the world. Former New York Mayor Bill de Blasio has officially announced that he is no longer going to participate in electoral politics, given both his less than 3% popularity and the fact that he could never live up to the tyranny, hypocrisy, and ineffectiveness of his successor, meat-eating vegan Eric Adams. He also knows he could never compete with the current unelected elitist governor, Kathy Hochul, who publishes so-called spoof itineraries that literally incite violence on her political opponents while denying all New Yorkers the right to protect themselves. After it went public that more than 181 educators have been prosecuted for child sex crimes in the U.S. K-12 system just this year, Twitter and Reddit responded by banning the word groomer, saying that it is an anti-LGBTQ slur, even though no one had actually made that connection until they did. Since normalizing diddling children has worked out so well, globalists are ready to take things to the next level. With socialist governments the world over creating forced food shortages, there has been much talk about normalizing eating bugs. Meanwhile, the New York Times is publishing favorable articles about cannibalism, and vegan Swedish brand Oomph has produced a plant-based, human flesh-flavored product. I swear, I am not making this up. Dear Leader announced that oil refineries gave him cancer. Rather than fact-check and mock him for years over such a preposterous statement like they would have a certain other president, the White House immediately reassured the American populace that it was just melanoma years ago, and totally unrelated to oil refineries. AOC was quick to go on Twitter and Instagram to mark herself safe from deadly oil viruses, though she still fears for her life and reminds us that this would not be an issue if no one had guns and everyone aborted their babies. Then, despite all his boosters, masks, and fist bumps, King Brandon came down with real COVID. looks like the White House cured him of cancer by giving him the Rona. Later in the week, his body double was trotted out to reassure the nation that there will not be a recession, even though we are in the middle of a recession. A very yellow-looking Biden later joined a Zoom meeting during which he said that he was sorry for his croaky voice, but felt much better than he sounded, to which most of America replied, "You mean alive?" Of course, according to Yale professor Dr. Kim Soo, his working while he has the deadliest virus ever known to mankind is simply a show of white supremacy. I swear, I am not making this up. The White House then replied that of all the things that old Joe has done to prove he is a white supremacist, this was, by far, the least effective. For CCW News, this has been Holy Crap, this is actually happening. I'm Chuck U. Farley. Good night, and may God help us.